Welcome, I'm Trevor with Balitecture. Today we're at the Moksha Eco Retreat. A little bit of luxury, a little bit of yoga going on here, a lot of nature. It's incredible. If you're just now joining us, you'll see that I get to tour some of the most amazing luxury resorts and villas that Bali has to offer. May jump in the pool in a little bit, it's pretty hot here. Before we get started, make sure and like and subscribe. Let's have a look. Now, the Moksha is an extremely unique boutique eco-resort. Moksha itself is a term to represent some major stuff in Hinduism, and this resort has Hindu elements everywhere, as the owner wanted to represent. The Moksha is extra special because it's built on sacred ground in between two villages, and special permission had to be granted to be able to build the 19 villas here. We've got a restaurant, 2 yoga shalas, and one of the most beautiful gardens I've ever gotten to walk through. We've got staff. 99% of the staff is from the 2 villages here. Who is greeting me? Hi, how are you? Terima kasih. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Woo.
And then here's the osibori. You can use go face and then hand.
I will take both to use on my face and hands today. It's pretty hot panas today for sure. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, oh, that's so good. I don't even know what that is. I don't even want to ask what it is. It's too good. Before we dive in a little further here, I want to mention that this is the perfect place for yoga retreats. A lot of the resort has that as a focal point because we have multiple yoga shalas, but we are on sacred ground here. They even train their staff in yoga so that they're more aware and more in tune with what their customers and what the resort really represents. And as I'm leading you back here, I'm leading you to what we get to experience when we first come in, which is Hindu statues, but we also have a lot of Balinese traditional elements around with the hand-carved doors. But then, as you'll also notice soon, this resort is extremely modern. It's extremely modern in its design. It does this really perfect mix of that very modern design with Balinese and then Hindu elements everywhere. Now, I know I've eaten this before and I had to ask the staff, it's passion fruit. I just can't remember the last time I ate passion fruit. If you knew what this was the second that I got it, comment below. But I really like that there's enough exotic foods in Bali that I always seem to forget what I'm eating. So let's take a stroll. I really like that we really have to go through some amazing garden before we get to our first room here. And you'll see this is easily one of the most beautiful layouts and beautiful gardens I've ever gotten to see here. And as we come through, we have a waterfall down to a common area. But also take a note, we've got the Hindu statues built into the wall here. And I really like this because it's not just statues built in, these are windows. So we're gonna make our first stop here. This resort has different levels and they've expanded since 2015. Where we start here, we kind of work our way down towards the river, and then it curves around where we have the yoga shala, their incredible restaurant and spa. So we're gonna kind of sweep around, but I just really love the fact that we have different elevations here to get different views. Now this resort has 2 pools, and we'll have a look at this one a little more in depth, pun intended, later when I do a nice pool test, but we've got a little bit to see for now. These pools have organic salt in them. It helps for healing reasons. And as I've noticed in a salt pool, you also float a little easier, which is always more relaxing. The salt has healing benefits. It's good for your skin, just all kinds of great reasons that you're gonna wanna take a dip over here. So next to this first pool, we've got the common area. We've got a big kitchen, and just notice the style, a lot of modern elements. I really like the modern design of the woodwork. And we also have a movie room for guests. Let's take a little look here. So, this garden is so amazing that certainly part of this video is going to be a villa tour, but I think it's almost going to be even more so a garden tour, because as you're walking down, we drop down these levels, we have this amazingly impressive waterfall wall that goes down to yet another pool. And I really love these levels. We've seen this in other villas where it kind of mimics the rice paddy by having the shape and then doing some tiers down. I really, really love that. So let's keep heading over and check out some of these rooms. We're coming down to a fork in the road. First of all, this fork is extremely well kept. The pathways here, everything's very nice, and the garden is meticulously kept. And I am surrounded by, as much as I love learning about villas, I'm probably gonna have to become a botanist, because there's so many plants and vegetation, flora and fauna, to understand that I can't possibly talk about it. But let's talk about one of the first rooms that we've got here. And I really feel like I'm in a secret spot, because we just have this labyrinth through the garden with different buildings. I feel like I'm in a mini village, because we've got walking pathways that have the villas all around. So we're gonna jump into the first villa here. Now, something to note that you could see before as we're walking down is the shape of the roof on these villas. And it's shaped like a leaf. And that represents the life cycle of nature. The leaf is falling down, and eventually it gets to the ground to help create new life from there. A lot of, again, Hindu philosophy that's actually worked into the architecture and general experience that you see here. All right, so before we head in, obviously you need to appreciate this amazing door. All right, coming into the first villa here. And when I used to hear eco resort years ago, I thought that you show up and they give you a loincloth and you go forage for your food or something like that. That's not how it works. I'm shocked by the level of luxury that's here. I really like the space, being inside this big leaf. Now this is similar to a villa we saw at Villa Boa, I believe. It had the leaf top. But this is different. A little different design. This is imported from Italy, actually, but then everything else is closely locally sourced. But they really wanted to make sure that we go over the top here in comfort, style, and experience. They have a special king coil bed that they've really tried to put in the stuff that's going to make you feel the most comfortable. Anyway, we've got our pool, our own private pool out here. I really like that it follows the curvature of the villa. And then our bathrooms over here. Which is a river stone cut. Now, if you look at this and really realize that what these stone tubs are that we see in Bali also often, it's not always that they're cut from a single rock. So really appreciate what that represents. That's a lot of work in one spot right here. We also have a really nice, as you've probably noticed by now, indoor-outdoor capability where we can shut this off, close the doors, keep it really cool inside, or we can open up everything as it is now. So we're cruising on over to one of the other rooms. Before we get there, I don't know where to walk. I want to walk in the middle. So we've got our first yoga shala, but we also are next to the rice paddy, and it's an amazingly scenic spot to relax, meditate, and truly appreciate all the nature surrounding you. We've got fauna flying everywhere. Now there is a difference between this yogashala and then the second one that we'll take a look at. This one is the public yogashala, and the other one is specifically for yoga retreats. So it's a little more special of a design down there. Something I want to point out though is that now we get a view, not for the first time, we can see it from the other side. We have this amazing restaurant that almost looks like a leafy spaceship, and I think we should take a look at that real quick before we see these other rooms. On our way to the next room, you know, we can't ignore this incredible restaurant behind me. As I'm walking up here, I just usually have to stop. I mean, I've done this, I think, 2 or 3 times where I walk up and then I stop and I look back and I'm looking at this curved wall of glass right in the middle. You know, the design is so great. And we still have that feel that we're kind of crawling into a big leafy structure here. I called it the leafy spaceship. I know that's not what they want me to call it, but that's what I'm gonna call it right now. But anyway, this is really an amazing view. Several tables, and we've got a great view of the rice paddies. And then also these villas, we can appreciate the architecture and just really relax. We can also go inside. So this is just the outdoor patio. And if we head inside, it's a little cooler with some air conditioning. And tables in here. But I love it with this entire continuous wall of glass that is almost 360. I mean, it's certainly, you know, like a 280-degree view of your surroundings in this resort. All right, while I'm here, I might as well also mention we've got our second pool down here. This is also has that organic salt. Back here, we've got a second yogashala, another room to take a look at, and then the spa is back here as well. So we're heading into another room, and this is one with the river view. Of course, before we enter, appreciate the hand-carved and hand-painted door. Really love it. So we've got a similar layout here around, you know, circular layout, but this is different. So we've got a river view, but we also have a yard in front, the bed central facing out. But also I wanted to mention we've got a tea station that's their own signature tea by TWG Premium Tea, which is kind of cool. So it gives another little just bespoke element. I also like this though. When you walk in, we've got the frosted glass with the bamboo on it. So we're just always surrounded by some element of nature, Hindu painting. But this is certainly the focal point of this villa. As we walk out, we've got a seating area, and we have a lot of privacy here. So we've got dividing walls. And we've got the bathroom over here. Again, the stone tub. It's a little different. We've got the welcoming Balinese flower petal arrangements on the tub. So you come out of the Riverview bedroom, then we have the yogashala just outside here. So this is exclusively for yoga retreats. A little more privacy here. It's quite large. It's got a really nice fountain around it. Some interesting acoustics in here too. We can actually we hear a lot coming from the river and the water outside. They also have a speaker system, so I think it's maybe some background noise. So then we've got the spa at kind of the end of the property as it is now, although they will keep expanding the property as we go. But I've got the spa. Now I'm curious what you would prefer. Would you rather have a pool or a river view? I'm torn between the two. Definitely comment below. We're always curious your thoughts on what your villa preferences are. So that about does it with the tour. We're back at my favorite part of the tours when we're able, where I can stop talking and jump in the pool. I'm curious how well I'll float with this salt content. We'll do a float test. That felt really good, as usual, but what I really liked about it was after I splashed in there, I could hear the water splashing off into the other pool. It makes you know that your splash is doing something. They also hooked me up with this awesome robe that is actually made out of the same linens that they use on their beds, which is incredibly soft. I can see why they get such good reviews based on that. So anyway, guys, that does it. This has easily one of the best gardens I've ever gotten to walk through. It's an incredibly special spot. Certainly a place that you're going to want to consider, if not the place that you would come for a yoga retreat if you want to plan a big event around. So yeah, keep going. Yeah. Now, if you're interested in booking at Moksha, we're going to leave a link below where you can get in touch for some more information. And if you'd like to invest in Bali real estate or even build your own custom dream villa, we can help you out with that at Balitecture. We'll leave a link below where you can talk to us for some more information. Before we head out here, make sure and like and subscribe. And I hope to see you out here sometime. See you there.